This week we're digging into the southwest corner of Parker. Come check it out with us. Hey everybody, it's Allison with Live South Denver, your real estate strategist and realtor for the South Denver area. So we are in a series about Parker where we're breaking it down and digging into all the different sections and areas, looking into the neighborhoods, talking about the pros and the cons, where the retail is, how your commute is. And today we're looking at the southwest corner of Parker. Let's get started. As a refresher, here's the section we looked at last week, and you can check that video out right here. This is a close-up view of this southwest corner on the map, and we're going to zoom in really close and actually break it down into two sections because there are a lot of neighborhoods in this part of Parker. All right, here we are in our first close-up section. You'll see here half of this section was part of the video we talked about last week. So here is the section where we're going to be looking at this week. And our first neighborhood is the Homestead neighborhood. This one is actually just south of Stepping Stone. The homes in Homestead were built from about 2014 to 2018, and they're all quite a good size, running mostly from 3,000 to 5,500 square feet. So these are not small homes, which is the trend these days with newer homes. Part of the draw of Homestead is obviously its new construction. So the style is modern. A lot of the finishes are bright, open, clean, fresh colors. The downsides to Homestead are road noise and power lines. There is a road that cuts through Homestead that connects essentially this side of Parker into Castle Pines, and Siri and Google Maps will tell you to take that cut through to shorten your commute. So it's a heavily trafficked road, not just for the neighborhood. Also, big chunks of Homestead back up to Chambers, which is a pretty strong thoroughfare through Parker, and then other parts of Homestead back up to Hess Road, which is a main road connecting Castle Pines into Parker. So there is quite a bit of road noise in the community. And then you'll see as we move forward in the slides, there is a row of high tension power lines that run along the north edge of this community as well. Another one of the drawbacks to the community, no amenities. There's no pool, not much in the way of trails, though they're not far from some good trail access because you can get right out of the community and get over to the mini incline, access to the east-west trailhead that heads all the way over to Littleton. For their community, not much in the way of amenities. Next up, right across Chambers Road is Regency and Newland Meadows. These are also newer neighborhoods built in the early 2000s. The newest homes were finished right around 2015. Much larger range and size of homes with these. The smallest homes are running like 1,400 square feet. So tiny little ranches, not even on a basement. The larger homes though are pushing all the way up to more than 5,000 square feet. So some really good size, well fitted for a family type homes in here. No pool or major amenities to speak of, though it's a larger community, so more sidewalks, a little more access to open space in here than you would have in Homestead. You do have to watch out for the high tension power lines through these two communities also. You can see on this slide right here where those high tension power lines run, cutting Regency and Newland Meadows in half and heading straight over to Homestead. Now I didn't show these high tension power lines on the last video where they run on the south side of Stepping Stone. So they do impact quite a few different communities through Parker. These power lines are part of the 100-mile plus power line system that runs down through Aurora, cuts through Parker, runs into Highlands Ranch. So it is a major system that we have to watch for no matter which community, town, city you are looking in. So it impacts your home search in many different areas of South Denver. Dropping right down from there, we go to Antelope Heights. This one's really desirable because they don't have much impact from power lines. They're tucked away from the major roads, so it's quiet. Modest size homes running about 1,500 to 4,400 square feet. They do not have amenities though, so no pool in there, but all around really good neighborhood. So this one highlighted in green, Horse Creek, all in all a really great and popular neighborhood. Homes run around 2,400 square feet to a whopping 6,400 square feet. So if you're looking for a large home, this is one great neighborhood to check out. Home construction runs from the early 2000s to about 2010, so the homes are still pretty young in here. As you could tell from the map layout, the neighborhood does cross over Chambers. There's a little section that's on the east side. That side is a little less desirable, let me tell you. It's not connected to the larger part of the community, so it's far from the pool. Plus, this is the first neighborhood we've come across that has a pool. That's a big deal over here in Parker. Unlike Highlands Ranch, Parker doesn't have a whole set of rec centers pools, facilities. We do have one, but everyone's not opted in by a massive HOA or anything like that. So the community pool piece is a really big deal around here. So that little east side nugget over there is closer, obviously, to Hess Road, road noise. Actually, some commercial real estate is going to be going in on the corner of Chambers and Hess. That is always less desirable to have homes right next to. It's just not the preferred side for being in Horse Creek community. Now over on the west side, the big lump of homes inside that green circle on the map, that's the sweet spot. You've got a lot of community events, you've got green space, you've got the pool, you've got people getting involved in trick or treat nights, and just lots of that community neighborhood feel. Really good neighborhood. Love this one. All right, continuing over to the east in Parker, this blue circle is Auburn Hills. It's a part of Bradbury Ranch HOA, another great community, and they have a pool, always a win. Large community. Lots of area in here, some nice trails, mature, big trees, lots of different sizes of homes. The homes generally don't go quite as large as we were talking about in Horse Creek. We're looking at 2,000 to 4,500 square feet for most of the houses. There are some larger ones. I have a client who bought a home in here and it was over 5,000 square feet, especially when you get in there and finish that basement. But most of them are not massive in this neighborhood. The loopy streets and the winding streets are really nice, especially if you get on the right side of the cul-de-sac and you've got a pie-shaped lot that gives you a little privacy from your neighbors. Really lovely community in here in Auburn Hills. All right, let's talk about this golden circle on the map. Senderos Creek and Overlook at Cherry Creek. I've lumped these two together because there's quite a bit to talk about with these two and they have similar pros and cons. Overlook at Cherry Creek would be the nicer of the two communities. They are both newer construction. Senderos Creek is built mostly by Meritage Homes. Overlook at Cherry Creek is built by Richmond American Homes. I'll show you a slide in just a second. Both of these communities have major power lines to contend with. It's not even just power lines. They have like a substation on the south side of the neighborhood that's really unattractive. And then both of the neighborhoods have a charter school and their traffic to contend with. Actually, my son has attended one of the charter schools that are a part of this family, not at this location, but because charter schools don't offer busing, you have all of the parents doing drop off in the morning and all of the parents doing pickup in the afternoon. And there really can be some major backups and traffic. Sometimes the parents aren't as behaved as they ought to be and considerate about the neighborhoods, and they park in the streets, they block driveways. We're not, again, as I said, at this campus. We're at one that's more along an industrial and business section of town, so it doesn't impact us. In this community, the neighbors have to talk with the school every now and again to remind parents, leave my neighborhood alone, just stay on the streets. So the school piece can be a downside over here. Also, neither of these communities or any of the other mature communities tucked in and around this area have a pool. So again, no amenities over here. The homes in Overlook at Cherry Creek, which is the Richmond Homes collection, run from the small 1,800 square foot size to over 5,000 square feet. Richmond American Homes does offer really large homes that fit families really well. So let's look at the slide that has that power line substation. You can see where it is in the south end of these neighborhoods, and it is unsightly, I will tell you. So if you're on the north end or you're over on the east side, not so bad necessarily. On the east side of this golden circle, which is where the Overlook at Cherry Creek neighborhood backs up to, it does back up to Cherry Creek Trail. That's how it got its name. But you're also overlooking in the distance apartment complexes, another road, and after that is retail space. So it's not necessarily the most attractive thing to look at. On the plus side though, you don't have neighbors behind you. All right, we're dropping down to Horseshoe Ridge, another great neighborhood. Homes in here run from about 2,500 square feet to about 4,800 square feet. Most of the homes were built after 2010, so we're looking at newer homes in here also. And while this neighborhood does not have amenities like most of the other communities we've been talking about, not having a pool, this one ranks a little higher than the rest of them, and it's for these reasons. tucked farther back from the roads, a little quieter, and loads of green space built in. The developer for this community really structured the houses to have a lot of green space built in between each other. I mean, there are definitely houses that back up against one another, but it is not packed in like a can of sardines, and that is different than nearly every single one of the other neighborhoods we have talked about so far. Also, very few of these homes are set to be very close to the roads and main thoroughfares, so you don't see a lot of homes set back up against Hess Road, which is on the southern border. You don't see a lot of homes set up against Motzenbacher, which is on the eastern border. You've really got them tucked in for quietness and peace. Now, if we want to talk about downsides, there is a public works station. This is where some of the trucks for Parker go to fill up with sand when we've got to deal with our snow and icy roads. There are a few of the houses that back up to that. It's not the noisiest thing, but it's not going to always be quiet. But most of the homes that are on the edge are backing up to acreage lots. We're talking about these. These are residential lots that are multiple acres large. I mean, we're talking could be 5 acres, 10 acres, 15 acres. They're all a variety of sizes, and they aren't going anywhere. Each individual homeowner would have to come together and agree to sell them off to a developer. We don't see that happening anytime soon. So a lot of them have beautiful undeveloped space behind them that they're overlooking. Okay, we're moving on to the lower part of the southwest corner of Parker. As I said, we have a lot of neighborhoods to cover, so I had to zoom in really tight. Anthology is the first neighborhood up that we're going to talk about. Right here you'll see Anthology as it is now, and here you'll see Anthology as it's going to be. So this smaller circle is already developed, it's newer construction, it's really just been finished. And this larger circle is what is beginning to be developed. This is going to be a very large selection of homes built by multiple developers over time. Right now, Century Homes is kind of digging their way in there. They developed most of the first section of Anthology, and they are starting to pre-sell some homes in the second section. But there's going to be an extension of Chambers Road down into this large section. There's going to be some light multi-use commercial. There's going to be space for a school. Thousands and thousands of homes. We're talking 5,000 plus homes in this larger circle. So we haven't really even scraped the surface for what this larger section of Anthology is going to be. For those of you who are kind of scoping out Denver, it's maybe on your radar for a couple years from now. This is probably a place you're going to want to be looking if you desire new construction. And Anthology now has a pool, and I can only imagine the amenities that are going to come as they expand into the bigger community as well. Next up, trails at Crowfoot. I have done videos on new construction in Parker and included lots about trails at Crowfoot. You can check some of that out up here. Trails at Crowfoot is offering an abundance of amenities, including a pool. There will be cabanas, courts, trails, access to a large park. So this is definitely the place you want to look if you're looking for new or newer homes and you want loads of amenities. We'll talk about this in a minute, but good access to both downtown Parker and Castle Rock too. Then we head over to Looking Glass. Looking Glass has just broken ground on development. Taylor Morrison has started their first community in there. There will be a total of 4 builders, I've just learned. That's the newest update, other than what you can find in this video up here about new construction in the Parker area. Try as I might, I can't find confirmation they're gonna have a pool in Looking Glass. I see lots of news about the size of parks, the abundance of trails. No word about a pool in the community, so we'll all have to stay tuned on that one. Then we drop down to Pradera, a perennial favorite for any golf-loving family. The golf membership is separate, and the pool access is included in the low annual HOA fees. Because Pradera has semi-custom and custom homes, the home sizes range anywhere from 3,000 square feet to 9,000 square feet, with some outliers on those custom homes up to 11,000 square feet or more. Pradera really is gorgeous. Not only do you have the manicured golf course areas, but lovely terrain. You are kind of in a bowl. You're not going to get mountain views, but you do have bluff views all around you. It really does feel like Colorado right inside the entire community. Lovely place to walk. You'll see wildlife, great neighbors, and you have access to kind of built-in community with the golf club, whether you choose a social membership or a full golf membership, and then you do have your own pool. The golf membership does have a partnering membership with the Pinery right across the street, so you get access to 2 golf courses for the price of 1, and they're only about 7 minutes apart from each other. So it looks like I forgot to add a circle for a neighborhood or 2 I want to talk about, but I'm still going to chat about those with you. So right to the east of Pradera are 2 communities that share a set of amenities. We've got Stone Creek and Allison Ranch. Stone Creek has just finished building out. There are no new homes left in there. A couple of builders. You had Richmond Homes, Taylor Morrison, and KB Homes all built in there. They're really right up next to Highway 83, which is Parker Road. However, Highway 83 is elevated and all of those are down below, kind of in a bowl. So you actually don't really hear the road noise. It does mean you don't get much in the way of views. You just have kind of what is around you. But they do have a pool, they do have a clubhouse, some amenities there. And then Allison Ranch by Toll Brothers is up the road. They're elevated and they're kind of up on the level with Pradera. You can access Allison Ranch through kind of the back roads of Pradera, and you can get to Stone Creek that way too. Now, the Allison Ranch Toll Brothers collection among all of my buyers is the least favorite Toll Brothers collection in the area. Here's why. The lots are really tiny. Toll Brothers is known for these grand homes, large homes, and really they're known for selecting great lots wherever they go. These are generally not it. The lots to the west don't have views. Some of the lots to the south have kind of a peekaboo view. But the largest lots are generally under 9,000 square feet and the homes are still really big. And no amenities, except that you have to drive down to Stone Creek and you can share theirs. So you can't just walk out your front door and go jump in the pool. You have to get in the car or at minimum a golf cart and go a good mile up the way to share the amenities with the neighboring community. So the plus side is that you get a Toll Brothers home in Allison Ranch for less than you would in some other communities because they do know that this is not the premier sites they usually offer elsewhere. The other plus is it's a smaller community, so there is the potential to meet neighbors and connect on a different level than you would in some of their larger communities. Plus for Stone Creek Ranch, it has amenities. And for both of these, newer construction, which everyone seems to love. All right, let's talk about what's nearby, drive times, things like that. So from the south end of Parker, this Pradera area, to get to Castle Rock is like 6 or 8 minutes, seriously. You are down in the Target area, the shopping area, the food area in no time flat. That is your primary retail area. You are another 5 minutes from that Target spot over to Whole Foods. So you can get every bit of your shopping done from Target to Whole Foods in less than 15 minutes. If you're up in Horse Creek or something like that, it's gonna be more like 12 to 15 minutes to get down into Castle Rock. Still, you can have everything that you need in one shopping stop. If you are more central, you have the option of going into Parker in generally 10 to 12 minutes as well. So you're equidistant from 2 great retail centers. All right, this bright green but tiny little sliver, if you remember it from last week's video, that's downtown Parker. That's where our farmers market is, our library, the splash pad, restaurants, the good coffee shops, all of that fun stuff. Okay, now the big question I'm always getting, talk to me about commute times into downtown. Well, I'm going to talk about commute times into the tech center. From there, you can tack on your extra time into downtown. All right, if you are over in that kind of Stone Creek, Allison Ranch side of things, your quickest access point to the tech center is going to be going up Parker Road and finding an avenue over to the tech center. The time that's going to take you in traffic hour, anywhere from 25 to 40 minutes. Don't you hate those variables? I wish it was consistent every day, but it never is. For the most part, it's going to be probably somewhere right in the middle of that. Now, if you're more central Parker, you're generally not going to use Parker Road. You're going to use the back roads and you're going to be thankful you did. And it's going to be more like 22 to 35 minutes to get into the tech center. And depending on where you are, if you actually work in the tech center, you don't have to get on I-25 at all. And when you're not working, what about shopping, eating, getting all the things you need for life outside of work? Well, the retail access when you're in this section of Parker is probably even a little bit better than the northwest section, which we talked about last week. Look at all of the stars on this map. Yes, you've got everything over in Park Meadows, which is over toward that Lone Tree section. You've got your Costco up in Parker. You have a Sam's Club down in Castle Rock. You've got your Target in Castle Rock, your Whole Foods in Castle Rock. We're getting a Trader Joe's up by the Costco in Parker. You've got a King Soopers not far from Trails at Crowfoot and Looking Glass. And you've got your major shopping center right in the middle of Parker where your Hobby Lobby, Home Depot, Walmart, Target are. So you really have access up and down the corridor from Parker to Castle Rock where everything is 12 minutes in either direction. That's a lot of information. I hope that's helpful for you as you consider Parker and other areas around South Denver. If you have any questions at all, please reach out. You know, I would love to chat with you. And hey, I will see y'all next week.